On today's show,
After their 10th straight loss, we break down the imploding New York Knicks.
who are the top 25 players under the age of 25? Well, there are some omissions that might surprise you.
And in the meme team, we find out what's got Big Baby so upset.
It's Thursday, December 11th. The starter star. Now.
Good evening, Sweet World! Welcome to the starters. Whether you're joining us live online, listening to the podcast, or catching us on NBA TV, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, it's Tass Mellis.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
To my right, the starters blog editor, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! Rocking a sweater today, TK.
Feeling warm.
All right, and finally, it's the international man of mystery. It's Lee Ellis.
Amigos.
Lee, all right. Yesterday, guys, we talked about the Brooklyn Nets and the struggles they've had this season. Tonight, we talk about the New York Knicks. We go down the ladder in the Eastern Conference because last night, shorthanded Spurs, and I mean the very shorthanded Spurs, they rolled to a 109-95 victory over New York. The Knicks' 10th straight loss. San Antonio got the W without Tim Duncan, without Tony Parker, without Manu Ginobili, without Kawhi Leonard. Now, the Knicks didn't have Melo. He's got some knee soreness right now, and the medical staff is saying it won't get any worse, but it won't get any better. So we'll, of course, keep our eye on Melo and how he progresses. But the Knicks, 10 straight losses, and surprise, surprise, now there are reports of locker room turmoil. And we'll get to that in a little bit. I was the one guy on this desk at the beginning of the season that said, I think the Knicks are going to make the playoffs. You guys went with the Nets because it came down to those two teams. The reason I thought they would get in here is because I thought they would be somewhere in between the Knicks of 2 years ago that won 54 games and then the team that struggled last year and only won 37. I thought they'd be somewhere in the middle and get to a 45, something like that. Yeah, exactly, to get into the playoffs. Of course, they're 4-20 right now, their worst franchise start. And we have to talk about them because you see the numbers. They've always been bad defensively, but offensively have just fallen off the face of the earth. And I want to know, and we throw it at everyone watching and listening, jump on Twitter and let us know, who's to blame for this mess and this slow start?
Well, the first biggest reason why they're not good is because they don't have the quality players. And then they got decimated by injuries on top of that. I mean, let's start with the quality of players that they have here. I mean, they've started 14 or 12 different starting lineups in 24 games because of injuries. And when you don't have quality players and then you get injured, I mean, you're not going to be very good. Their second best player, Jose Calderon, missed half the games. Andrea Bargnani's been out the entire season. You might say Andrea Bargnani and laugh at that, but when he's replaced by fringe NBA players in Quincy Acee and Shane Larkin, Sammy Dalembert starting for them, Cole Aldrich is taking his minutes, then you're not going to have a very good team.
Four wins, though? 4 wins in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
2 more wins than the Sixers.
Yeah, obviously they could have been better. But if they had their full team, I think they'd be winning 33% of their games. I mean, they won 37 games last year. They won 37 games last year. Sure. They got a lot worse. We're talking about Quincy Acee and Sammy Dalembert and Shane Larkin replacing Tyson Chandler, Raymond Felton, actual NBA players that have been in this league for a long time. That's the biggest reason. Then you've got the injuries. You've got Melo, who is not right. Banged up knee, banged up back, missed a few games himself. I think that is the number one biggest reason. Before we start talking about an offense and a system, nobody is good enough to play in that system. If Shane Larkin and Quincy Acee, these guys that are starting for this team, disappeared tomorrow and didn't play another NBA game, would we be shocked? No.
Okay, let's get to the offense though, because again, the Knicks have always, for the last little while, been poor defensively. The offense, we saw it there 2 years ago. It was one of the best offense teams in the league. Last year, even above average. Now in the bottom half of the league. Is it because they're trying to implement this new triangle offense with Derek Fisher there and the talent of well, and I know that comes into play.
If Calderon and Bargnani are in this system, don't you think it's a different team?
At least they have shooting, and at least they have guys who can score points sometimes, but I do think the triangle is a little bit of the problem because the complaint with that is that if you don't have the right talent, it turns into a jump shooting offense, and that's exactly what is the case right now. They're 29th in attempts in the restricted area, second in mid-range jumpers. They just don't take efficient shots. They have nobody who really drives to the rim. They don't shoot free throws. I don't know if Bargnani and Jose Calderon help with that, but at least they can put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah, okay, I'll get that they'll give you a little bit more shooting, but I'm not so sure it's just because those two guys haven't been in there and are still not in the lineup. I think, again, the free throw is a huge one. A free throw rate when you're at the dead last in the league, does that not say that the team is not very aggressive?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't care to go to the rim?
They're also
have sort of started to give up a little bit?
They're last in drives per game. They drive to the hoop 12.5 5 times a game. That's once every 4 minutes they go to the hoop. That's not enough times in the NBA.
That's too much stats.
Too much stats. My bad.
Hey,
My bad.
dial down on the stats.
I memorized
Well,
these,
what do you
though.
think, though, about what do you think about the triangle offense in general? Because you got some people that go, well, that's the reason guys like Jordan and Kobe got all their rings, that great system, the ball movement, the beautiful basketball when it is zipping around like the Spurs. But then other people say, no. The only reason the Kobe and Jordan and those guys are racking up rings, Shaq, of course, too, Pippen, is because they're all NBA, the best players of all time. And it didn't matter what system they were running.
Phil Jackson said himself, talent wins, and they just don't have the talent right now. The triangle is a great philosophy, and for Phil Jackson, it's more than just playing the game. It's a whole sort of way you approach life. You know, you do all this sort of, the Zen stuff that he gets going, but they just don't have the players who can execute it, who have never done this before. And remember as well, Phil Jackson said before this season that one of the biggest problems he found with the Knicks was they don't have the basic fundamentals of ball movement, of footwork, and all those things that you learn in college, because a lot more guys are coming out so much earlier these days. They don't have that practice. You've only got one superstar on that team, and that's Carmelo Anthony.
Absolutely. I think Seth Rosenthal, great Knicks blogger, had a good point about the Knicks having this abundance, and you see it here, of players on expiring contracts. And when you have several of these guys really struggling to grasp the triangle offense in that system, they're looking bad in their contract years. Their numbers don't look great. They are playing for a contract. They're trying to get paid. And when that starts happening, some of these guys going, I'm not going to be here next year.
Yeah.
I'm actually not buying that at
You don't
all.
think so?
Look at these guys. If you're looking at these names, Quincy Acey, an all-time high in points. Amon Shumpert, back to almost 10 points a game, a career high. Cole Aldrich, he's having the year of his life. Andre Bargnani's not playing. Amari Stoudemire looks like himself. They just don't have the talent. I'm sorry. And again, every second game when you've got a new starting lineup, they just don't have the sort of the base to start from. And I think that's a big, big thing. You don't have a leader in Jose Calderon out there for half these games. And they're losing.
Shouldn't Carmelo Anthony be the quote-unquote leader of this team?
Well, sure. Yeah, you can definitely blame Melo. There's just not a lot of talent. I think that's reasonable to say. I think that's the biggest aspect.
Yeah, they're starting Quincy Acey.
Yeah, and at the end of
simply
games, they're losing a ton of close games. They've lost 8 games within fewer than 5 points, I should say. And yeah, Melo's got a lead at the end of games. I'm definitely comfortable saying that. But at the end of the day, I mean, where's the talent?
Well, let's address this, again, locker room turmoil. I guess it happened on the court, too. We saw ESPN's Chris Broussard reporting this on Wednesday, and since then, guys like Melo and Tim Hardaway have shot it down. But the report was that they were arguing in the Nets game. They were calling each other out, yelling about rebounds, passing the ball, stuff like that.
You shoot too much. No, you shoot too much.
And again, they sort of in a way shot down this report from Broussard saying, yeah, okay, look, that happens. We're frustrated.
Wouldn't you be more surprised if that didn't happen?
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
a 4-20 team.
Absolutely, I'd be worried if
exactly.
they weren't arguing with
They
each
yelled
other
once.
when you're 4-20.
And the New York Post loves it.
Once.
I mean, well, that's all it was.
sure.
One little yelling match on a team that's a little better than the Sixers. I'd be a little upset too.
Broussard also says in the article that he thinks guys are saying that they hate the triangle offense. And it's not working for them. Again, you keep saying it's talent. You don't think it has anything to do with Fisher in the offense.
Yeah, but see, Fisher as a rookie coach as well, this is what the problem
that's a big part
he's
of
going
that
to
as
face
well,
as well,
sure.
because most coaches come through with an assistant first, and they get to build on those relationships with players. He's coming straight in with not enough talent, trying to implement an offense that no one's ever played
Okay,
before.
well, we keep
And they don't
saying
have
that-
the stability, too. I
Yeah.
mean, if they had their starting lineup from the beginning of the season, we'd be talking a little differently, I think.
They would
about
have
their
more
offense.
wins. It'd be tough to argue that. Well, Phil Jackson, you keep saying they don't have enough talent. He's the one in charge of that. He's the one that built this team here in his first year as president. He's been talking a lot because they are 4-20, so everyone's got a lot of questions for him. But this was the quote that got everyone going because he basically called his team losers. Quote here, I'll give you the whole thing. Obviously, we're disappointed. I think guys understand what we're trying to do. There's some resistance to discipline and order and culture change and things like that. Right now, we have a loser's mentality because we're not finishing games, so we have to break through that. You could dissect that multiple ways in terms of what he's saying there at the end, and I don't think he is calling. I was joking that he's calling them losers, but that mentality has seeped in a little bit, especially in all these close games.
Yeah.
That they're around, they're sticking in there, and then it fades away. It'll be interesting to see what this team does. Do they just stand pat and say all these expiring deals and hope someone comes in?
And they actually have their draft pick this year.
Yeah.
That's just right. They got one draft pick,
Yeah.
and then they're gone for the next little while. But we talk Knicks all day here, but we got to take a break. When we return, this is gonna be a fun topic. We're gonna talk about the top 25 under 25 players. Who made ESPN's list, who didn't, Come on back. You're watching the Starters. Welcome back to the Starters. Fun topic here for you. Thanks to our friends over at ESPN. They released their top 25 players under the age of 25. We had a lot of fun dissecting this in the office before coming on the show here tonight. Now, their criteria for the list, pretty straightforward. It's a ranking of how they would order, or let's say hypothetically draft, these players if they were starting a franchise, and you'd have them for the next several years. So it's not just this season. But again, you got to be 24 years, really, or younger. You can't be over the 25 mark. You see it there. Okay, let's quickly go through this. Davis, Cousins, Wall, Irving, Paul George, Drummond, Lillard, then Kawhi Leonard, the Greek Freak, Klay Thompson, Derek Favors, Hayward, and Beal. The second part of the top 25 guys under 25. Joel Embiid, Drew Holiday, Greg Monroe, Valanciunas, Andrew Wiggins, Vucevic, Brandon Knight, Tobias Harris, Julius Randle, bit of a surprise maybe, Dante Exum, Ricky Rubio, and then they couldn't pick between Draymond Green and Jabari Parker, taking the easy way out there.
So hard to
ESPN.
choose between those two if
Come
you're starting
on.
a franchise.
So, as is the case with any list like this, highly subjective and speculative, but a lot of fun, and we want
Let's
to
go
hear
to the
from you guys.
barber shop, baby.
Well, it is fun to
take you to the
argue this.
barbershop.
No one's going to argue. No one's going to argue Anthony Davis at number one. I mean, impossible. You're building a franchise.
we had this conversation a few weeks ago on the show. There was some DeMarcus Cousins talk between Anthony
they
Davis
got him
and
second.
DeMarcus.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm okay with Anthony Davis going number one and DeMarcus going second. But imagine if we had this conversation a month ago. Would DeMarcus Cousins be the second player that you'd start a franchise with?
No,
under
because
the age of 25?
he proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
To be honest, in the first month or so of this
Yeah, and I think that's something to, take a look at when you're looking at this list. A lot of guys, you mentioned Draymond Green there, Trey. Would he have been 25th on this list if we didn't talk about this first month that Steve Kerr has made him a starter? But I'm okay with Marcus Cousins being there because of the defensive end where he's sort of grown up, and I don't think he's going to resort back to his old sort of tactics. And on the offensive end, when you're beating up Tim Duncan, I say that, and I don't even believe that. I'm saying it when he handled Tim Duncan. He can handle anybody on the offensive end if he's being smart on the defensive end. I'm going old school and going with the big at number 2. That's totally fine. The guards is where it gets really
I was going to say, I think the debate starts to happen when you go to the 3 and 4 on ESPN's list here. John Wall, Kyrie Irving. Again, we throw it at you watching and listening. Do they have it right? Would you put John Wall just above Kyrie Irving? Again, in the context of this list and starting a franchise, that's a tough one.
Personally, I would take Kyrie Irving because I think he's a better offensive player.
Better shooter.
Better shooter. I know John Wall gets more assists a game, but that doesn't really come into it for me. I think Kyrie is better at running the offense. Already seen him be a 2-time All-Star. John Wall defensively is much better than Kyrie, and that's a big area where Kyrie needs to improve. But I just think when you first look at a player and you first look for a team, you want a guy who can score and who can light up a team, and I think Kyrie can do that better than John Wall can.
I totally disagree. I think Wall is an easy choice over Kyrie Irving because he gets everybody involved. He's a much more willing passer than Kyrie is, and he's a 10 times better defender than he is. He's going to be the best guard in the league for a while pretty soon here. As soon as he gets a little bit better shooting that outside jumper, hitting the 15-footer. As soon as he knocks those down, it's an easy choice. Right now, I think you still take John.
And he has improved his shot.
He has improved it for sure.
If he gets better from outside, it's over then.
Yeah, this is a great debate. I would take Wall as well because I think there's just a little bit more potential that John Wall has that Kyrie may not have. I mean, Kyrie obviously one of the best finishers in the game. We know that. But I would rather have John Wall to make my other 4 guys better. And defensively, he just stops the ball, forces defense or offenses to start a few seconds later. That's huge.
And that speed is crazy on the fast break. It's undefensible.
Let's talk about maybe someone on the top 25 that's particularly too high or too low. I know we talked about at the bottom of the list there when ESPN couldn't decide between Draymond Green and Jabari Parker. I think Parker was a bit of a shocker where he was in terms of the other rookies especially.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a joke he's not way higher. He should be top 15 to me. You're not
Top 15?
Yeah, you're not starting a franchise with guys like Derek Favors or Gordon Hayward, Brad Beal, Drew Holiday, Greg Monroe.
Great players.
They're solid players. You don't start franchises with them. Detroit tried it with Greg Monroe. It didn't work. Jabari Parker is a guy who will be the foundation of your offense. The last 15 games, 13-5 on 53% shooting. He's very, very good, and he's going to get better. He's going to learn to shoot threes. He's only going to get better from here, and that's why, for me, he's top 15 easily, maybe top 10.
So you'd want him at least closer to Wiggins in this list.
Way higher than Wiggins. I would put him very, very high. I'm a big Jabari fan.
All right, interesting.
You are
What
a
about
big
you?
Jabari
Anyone
fan.
too high or too low?
Well, let's stay with the Bucks, and I think Giannis Antetokounmpo at the 9 spot. It's too high. I mean, What is
Tess, you're
what is-
Greek.
Yeah,
What's
what is
going
this?
on here?
What's wrong with you,
He's
man?
a second-year player. He's learning the game, so he's got a lot of potential, obviously. But what is this man's ceiling? I mean, there's talk that Paul George is his ceiling. I think that's a little nutty at this point. I would say Nicola Batum is his peak ceiling. And yeah,
Wow.
I think you're off a little bit there because we saw him, and I know it's very
but
early
we're
still.
not even close
I
to
know.
that level. So how can you have a Klay Thompson, a guy that's top 2 or 3 at his position right now, lower than him?
Age is
Well,
coming in, of course, a little bit. He's super
Yeah.
young.
He's super young. He's still learning the game.
Yeah.
So we're really looking at this with potential in mind. I understand that, but I don't know where the skills come from.
What
at
I
this
like
point.
about
He's
Giannis,
obviously an
though-
incredible ball handler, incredible defender, but will he be a great
An unreal
scorer in
athlete,
this
sure.
league?
But he's changing the way the position's played. I don't know what position is best for him at the moment. I think that's great because he's got good ball handling skills. He's got nice mechanics on his shot still needs work. And I think once his body fills out, once he gets more comfortable in America living here, I think he's going to be a fantastic
Would you
player.
rather have him than Clay, let's say, or your friend Bradley Beal?
Hold on, are you going to get better on the show?
I'm still learning the
Living
language
You
here,
are.
yeah.
That's all
yeah.
right.
I just talk about koalas and didgeridoos. all day.
One more, quickly here, guys. Who should have made the top 25? Who should have made it that wasn't on there?
Lance Stevenson is nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Nerlens,
And,
maybe?
and Nerlens as well. Rather than Dante Exum, I think that's a lot.
Let's hear what people think. Take a look at the list. We showed it to you. Who should have made the top 25? We got to take a break. Lots more still to come.
My haircut is nice.
When we return, Big Baby Davis, all grown up, shocked, saddened. He's on. Back in the starters, every Thursday we scour the internet to bring you the meme team. A few of our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7 days. Tassie, let's do this.
Tony Allen is always making it happen on the meme team. Jose Juan Barea turns it over. It's the carry. Tony Allen lets you know, I'm on.
Yeah, that way. Which way?
Sunday, first down.
So good.
Tony, always making us laugh.
Take it out at number 4. The other night in Utah, Jazz big man Enes Kanter called for the travel, throws his mouth guard up into the stands.
This guy's got it.
Found it. This guy catches it. Did he catch it or pick it up? I have to know that.
He couldn't have caught
Get
it.
Borgia on the
I
line.
mean, I hope not.
The Nets' Corey Jefferson with an air ball that you will never see again. Wow.
yeah.
Whoa.
I thought this was.
It's hard to defend.
I thought that was
No one
CGI.
running to the
That
hoop.
was amazing. This is a different game, but this would be Big Baby's reaction to Corey Jefferson. That was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
Number 2, watch the Spurs bench celebration.
He's
for-
a spicy
for
one.
Marco Bellinelli's three-point shot. Yeah. Rub the belly. Get in my belly. Rub it for good luck. Whatever you want to do.
And
Great
at number
celebration.
1, Kate and William visiting the Nets. Dikembe Mutombo offering them popcorn.
They don't.
You want your popcorn?
They don't have popcorn.
No, they don't.
Bursted kernels, they call them.
LeBron hitting that shot. Dikembe really enjoyed it. Willie, yeah, it was all right.
Okay.
No, it was fine.
Cheerio.
Jay-Z with the best
Jay-Z
reaction
loved
on that fadeaway.
That's the real royal.
Beyonce wasn't really watching, but I mean Jay-Z's reaction, the best.
There it is. The meme team. Again, we scoured the internet for all of that.
That was tough work.
I hope you caught this though. Before the start of last night's Heat Nuggets game, ESPN showed Chris Bosh in the locker room having himself a laugh watching his iPhone, watching his Samsung Galaxy, whatever it was. Now, what was he watching? That's the question. Was it the awkward dad
couple of
dance
cool
cam that we had
dad
on the
dances.
starters?
That'll get you a laugh.
I mean,
Yeah.
he seems to find it funny.
So funny, Chris.
Was it the Bieber? Was it the Bieber crossover? This makes me laugh every single time. Finish that left hand. Take a look at the camera.
stare.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dirty. May have been that. Or was it just himself?
Chris Bosh loves a Chris Bosh joke.
Yeah. Was it just the video bomb?
Funny
in general?
times.
All right, we've got to show you every wedgie on this show because that's what we do. We've got a really quick one. This is a snowflake. She's an original. Charlotte, Boston, yesterday. A quick one. You got to watch. Don't blink. Gets
Whoa,
wedged
there it
right
is.
up
Oh,
there.
yeah.
A real quick one. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist back from injury, providing us a quick wedgie right there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, MKG.
Counts.
It's official.
It counts.
Yep.
It's official. That means we've got to update the wedgie board. We have now gone 0 days without a wedgie.
That's the first
We're
zero.
having a harder race
That's the
over
first
here.
Hey,
We're
what's
having
going
a
on
harder
over there,
race.
man? Don't wreck the board, please. It's the only one we have. There you go. 0. Thumbs up for that. All right. Let's unleash the unicorn. Let's get to the starters fantasy minute. On Thursdays, we like to look back at a very busy Wednesday night and give the lovely fantasy line of the night. Our three nominees, Anthony Davis, James Harden, and Drew Holiday. Yes, two from the same game. Anthony Davis, what did he do? Well, for the second time this season, AD hung up 31 points on the Dallas Mavericks. 11 of 20 shooting, 9 of 9 at the line. That's his best game at the free throw line. Had the 11 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks. His 13th double-double this season. Pretty good. And
Almost
again,
pulled out the
he's got the Mavs number. Number 2 woe boy, James Harden. He started on fire in this one. This one felt like it was going to be a 50-pointer. He finished with 34, 14 of 27, hit 3 threes. He had 8 boards, 4 assists, and 4 steals.
They shouldn't have picked those jerseys in Golden State.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that
Too much
McDonald's.
yellow.
The old McDonald's look, you don't like that? Remember the old McDonald's?
I'm loving it.
Yeah. But the number 1 woe boy goes to Drew Holiday, again, against the Mavericks. All 3 of these woe boys coming in a loss. Does it matter? No. 30 points, great shooting percentage, 5 threes. He's only done that about 4 times in his career, 10 assists, 1 rebound, and 3 steals. Drew Holiday, around the holiday season, it only makes sense. There you go. It's okay. See you later, Unicorn. We got to take one more break, but when we return, we'll get to the pick and payoff results. Another good night for Tass and I, and Lee's 2 Australian thumbs. Very solid plays coming up, so come on back. You're watching the starters.
Remember that old McDonald's?
Here comes the shimmy. Here comes the shimmy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Mark Jackson's not your coach.
Welcome back to the starters. Woo. Tass, is it Green Week? Because look at those green check marks. Perfect 5-0 night for both of us. Tass, solid 25-12 in the month of December. I'm 2 games back, 23-14. Let's go to tonight's picks. Again, we send in these picks separately. We don't know what the other guy is taking. Well, and here we go. We both agree on tonight's games. Both of us take the Thunder at home against the Cavaliers, and we both like the Rockets on the road in Sacramento. Both of those games, of course, on TNT, your doubleheader action, but stick around after the show for Game Time's coverage leading into those games. For now, though, we turn to Lee Ellis for the very solid play of the night. You had a lot of games to pick from.
I
Lee, where are you going, man?
I'm going to the Oracle in Oakland. Now, you might remember the other day I told you what a boomerang is.
Yep.
Well, you should remember it because here's Festus Ezeli hands it off to Klay Thompson.
Yep.
Harrison Barnes back to Ezeli. That's what happens when you pass the ball,
Yep.
you get it back. Smart play from the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
It was a
That's what I
boomerang.
call a very solid play.
Shouldn't it got back to Clay if it was
No,
a
because
boomerang?
Ezeli started it
Oh,
and
did
finished
he?
it.
I
yeah.
wasn't watching.
Pay attention,
Have
please.
you ever
That's-
thrown a boomerang?
I have.
Okay,
Did
excellent.
it come back?
Yep.
It's gone. It was his favorite boomerang. It was such a sad story. Guys, remember to subscribe to the show. The Drop tomorrow, our hour-long podcast before we jump on the air and do the show later in the day.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, some days might be sunny, but sometimes you got to drudge through the sludge.
Brace the night, people.